Bayou Sauvage is a national wildlife refuge uniquely situated in the city limits of New Orleans. Its 20,000 acres are home to a diverse ecosystem of 340 bird species and hundreds of plants. But a wildfire caused by a lightning strike is consuming several acres, and it's still burning. Here's the latest.
Bayou Sauvage is approximately 27,000 acres of fresh and saltwater marshes. Only a small portion of those refuges are actually within the city limits. This what makes this refuge so unique is it's all here in the city, all Orleans Parish, and with all the wildlife and everything that goes with it.
Pon Dixon is with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. His life's work is dependent on the health of Bayou Sauvage Urban National Wildlife Refuge. But this week, his job just got a little more complicated. The refuge caught fire July 30th, and it's still burning. This is day 10 of wildfire relief. Can you tell me how this fire started?
We feel that this fire started as a result of a dry lightning strike that happened on July 30th, approximately around 8:30, 9 o'clock time frame. We discovered the fire early Monday morning, right before day. We have some contractors out here that are doing some herbicide treatments, and they called me about 6 o'clock Monday morning to report a fire. So I drove over here, located the fire, and then I called in support, and we have been dealing with it ever since.
The fire is currently burning in 36 different spots, but you can't see it because it's underground. You see, the soil is so dry that heat from the initial blaze is traveling underground and heating up old tree stumps. Those stumps have roots that travel all along the refuge. When it gets hot enough, it can start a blaze above ground. That's what makes it a hot spot.
So normally about 3 o'clock every day, we have these hot spots that flare up, and we feel that we may have some organic matter that's burning, and we refer to that as peat. And so that these peat fires kind of work their way to the surface and become surface fires. Then that ignites the grass, and then you'll see smoke and flames. We had that happen yesterday around 3:30, 4 o'clock, when it's at the peak of the heating of the day.
Pon and his team are using several methods to control the flames. The big dramatic buckets of water, literally opening the floodgates of surrounding rivers. But it's hard to detect a fire you can't see. So how long do you think it would take to put this out?
We don't know, because we don't know the extent of what's burning, what could be burning under the ground. So this could be a few more days, it could be a few more weeks. We really don't know. We have unmanned drones that fly every morning with infrared capabilities. They fly over the burn area to detect any hot spots that may be burning. And if we see hot spots, we will get on those with the bucket and try to suppress those hot spots.
Like Pon said, it could be weeks before the fire is extinguished. And he would know, because this isn't the first time a wildfire has broken out here. Wildfires are almost cyclical. So it's not super common, but it's not uncommon either.
That is correct.
Okay.
But
explain that dynamic.
We might go a decade or so. It's all connected in meteorology.
Okay.
So that right now, if you've been watching the news and the weather, you know that we have an El Nino event that's been taking place. It starts off in the Pacific, and then it spreads across this area. Well, classically, when there's an El Nino event, the water gets warmer in the Pacific, and as it drifts across this way, it heats up the areas in the southern United States. But that might only last for a short period of time, and then it's gone, so nobody really notices any impacts. Well, this time it's been with us for a long time.
Bayou Sauvage caught fire in 2001, 2007, and 2011. 2023 is unique in the fact that we're in a drought, partly caused by the El Nino weather pattern, which is making matters worse.
Well, I mean, people are saying with climate change, stuff like this could be more common. Mm-hmm. Is that true?
Absolutely true, but we don't know. You know, nobody predicted that this was going to happen this year. There were some meteorologists who were always suggesting that this happens and this happens and this happens, you can have a problem.
So far, the fire has burned through more than 400 acres of land, and the path to recovery is still unknown.
Most of the species that inhabit Bayou Sauvage are fire-dependent species. They have evolved with fire. So fire is a vital part of the life cycle of a lot of these species that are found on the refuge.
Now, there is a silver lining to this fire. According to Pond, the plant species in the bayou are accustomed to cyclical fires, and that could even help the bayou's regrowth.